Well, we arrive now in Pennsylvania, and it's gonna be an interesting one. Because look at this, look at the size, how big it is compared with what other we saw so far. So yeah, I think it's with the New York also one of the biggest, if not the biggest. So let's dive right into it. What I'm interested right now is like first of all the data, in case you're wondering. Admitted to the union, that's interesting, was the second state after Delaware on 12 December 1787. So pretty interesting, I would say. What I'm interested in, let's say population, 13 million. Wow, which is quite a lot. The 50 states as a population. Median house income, God knows what that means, around $74,000 back in 2023. So by now probably it's around $80,000, which I'm not sure exactly how much that means those days, because it doesn't seem like to have like $80,000 per person. It's pretty much per household, and everything is expensive those days, so I don't think it mattered that much. Language, 90% English, thank God. Spanish, again, 4%. No idea where those guys coming from here. I mean, look at this, how big is the distance between between Mexico and Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and also probably most of them are in Philadelphia. So yeah, Germans, including in Pennsylvania, Dutch. No idea what that means, but let's check them. Pennsylvania Dutch. So I guess some sort of German settlers there, but yeah, Germans, Europeans, makes sense. Only 0.8, 0.9%, which is very low. Chinese, god damn it, where the fuck is China? Where is USA? Especially where is Pennsylvania? They still managed to have around like 0.5% here. And Italians, okay, Europeans, not that much to worry, 0.43%. Pretty low, but comparing with the Spanish, like over 4%. How the fuck that happened? I like those small houses. It's a settler house, as you can see here. It's like a starting house, an entry level, a beginning house. Back in the days, it would be nice if you have those today, but unfortunately everything's getting so expensive. So probably even a starting house like this is gonna run like $500,000 or something like that, which most likely something like that should cost like less than 1 year wage. So you can actually start with a home. That'll be, and you're gonna sell it, let's say 3-5 years later on the same goddamn price or even cheaper. So hopefully everything's getting cheaper, not more expensive. Yeah, landscape wise, very, very nice as always. In this part of the United States, they seems to favor fall, autumn for the pictures. Yeah, we have the Amish community here. So yeah, we see that in New England was the same case. They look better, I guess. They look nice in the fall, but I think also there are a lot of different season that's worth checking. Most of them, they are Democratic. Wow, interesting. What is that? What election? 2024 presidential election? I thought that Trump won Pennsylvania. I could be wrong. But they got Democrats, like you can see here. 42%. Republicans 40%, pretty close. Unaffiliated, God knows, for 12%, and other minor parties 3.5, 3.6%. So yeah, pretty low. But yeah, in US, most likely you have, look at the Benjamin Franklin here. You have most likely like two parties, the Democratic and the Republican one. So you kind of have to choose one side or the other. But thankfully, we can see that they have some unaffiliated, which is pretty decent, and 12%. It's not that bad. So who knows, maybe some sort of a hopes for a change, maybe like some sort of independent candidates in the future. Yeah, overall they look nice so far. You're gonna check immediately on the ground level. They have the Super Bowl right here. What is that? Patriots, Eagles, whatever they have here. We don't watch here NFLs in Europe, not that much. They start to seem like they're pushing to Europe right now. We have a few transmissions that they show us, but not sure exactly. We don't understand the rules. We don't understand how things go in there. So didn't exactly caught up yet, but we will see. So let's dive right into it. Let's see exactly how those people actually live. Classic Americans with almost every state. Straight line you're gonna find in at least one state. I think. Just the way they doing things there. I want to start here. I think the main cities they are like Philadelphia, which I think is this one. I'm not sure exactly, but we're gonna check that if you want that much. And I think Pittsburgh is this one. Actually, we can check them pretty clear. Let me check this exploration. No, demi custom. Yeah, this is Pittsburgh and this is Philly. So in case you want that, you have it right there. Now let's just go in a clear mode. Oh, what is here? In the up north Erie? I don't know exactly what that is. Erie? It's a pretty nice name, but let's check them anyway. Let's see how they live. Straight lines, as always, even in the city. It's a very American thing. In Europe, not that much, but we've seen other countries that are, like, say, underdeveloped or in upcoming countries, whatever they're calling those days. Yeah, they kind of try to do the same thing with straight lines, straight streets. But yeah, not exactly that close to the what US achieve. I'm not sure exactly what's happening here. Even though it's garbage day, which I don't think so, because I don't see trash cans here. Or you can actually pick up those for free. I'm not sure exactly, but feels like an old desk and an old mattress here, and some toys. I don't know exactly what's happening there, but it's interesting. Like, yeah, if somebody wants to have it, you can have it for free, or it's like a backyard sale or something like that. This is what, May 2024, so very recently. Nice neighborhood, I would say. They have homes, houses, not apartments, which is good. Cars on the street, pretty nice models, although I would like to see them some sort of a American game here. We don't have this in Europe. I would like to see them actually park inside the property, covered by a shade, no sunlight goes to them, no hailstorm or something like that. You can actually improve, let's say, your car parking, we call it here in Europe, the country car parking, something. I don't think it's like the same translation, but it means like how the cars in a country are taking care of them, pretty much, and how new they are, how well they run, things like that. And I think like having like in the shade, you're gonna protect the plastics, which they have even more and more with those new models. The paint, like I said, the tail light, the headlights, which usually they go yellow. They stay too much in the sun. The tires also, it's a safety feature that you don't have like some sort of explosion on the highway because they got dry. And also the glass, in case have some sort of a hailstorm or something like that. So just by that, you have a much better car. And also the inside, the plastic from the inside, if they stay too much in the sun, they're gonna get cracked and they're not gonna look that great. So you're gonna get a lot of benefits for keeping the car in a controlled shade, I would say. You don't have that much water in the car, especially if it's raining, if you have it under something to protect it, even in garage or something like that. Open garage, still pretty good. Again, hailstorm, you're not gonna have like cracked windshield or glass, or even dented panels on your car. I mean, just keeping the car in the garage or something like that, like an open garage in the shade, she's gonna improve tremendously the car in the United States car parking, let's call it like that. Here is pretty nice. I mean, look at this. I'm not sure exactly what they have those toll gas station. I assuming because they have some sort of a truck here that they can go in and out. In Europe, we don't have that. If you actually ask me where the trucks get refuel, I think they have now like some special station just for them. And usually they're outside of the city or very close to that. So yeah, if you go inside the city, you're not gonna see that much toll those in Europe. Pretty interesting. Now I realize it. Yeah, I have really big ones. Yeah, here they have on the sidewalk, they need some improvements here, but overall, pretty nice. They have huge parking lots, classic American, I would say. But overall, yeah, it's pretty good. Oh, look at it. Some sort of an RV, or what is this? It's much taller, and we don't have those in Europe, at least not that tall. Here, wow, what is this? Some sort of a forest road. Wow, that's pretty nice. I mean, look at this. I'm not sure exactly, again, we keep coming back to this, how exactly European is going to achieve something like this, which I think it cannot. It's just, when you talk about housing, the way the American live, the way they, I mean, the individual European wants that lifestyle. Not sure exactly why they throw me here. Yeah, still going there. But it's not possible here in Europe. you can have it. It's just everybody kind of knows now by now. It's impossible to have like that wide of the land, that big of the land, wide streets and all that shit. Here in Europe, it just doesn't work here. It just we want it, but it doesn't work. What the fuck is this? You have like houses on the lake, and people actually live in those, or just using for the vacation or like a fishing house, I assume. And this guy has a barbecue here. I mean, like, it's pretty interesting, don't get me wrong, but I mean, yeah, look at this. They have houses, not many, but they had a few houses on the lake. Huh. Who thought of that, eh? You can live actually on the lake. You're gonna see probably more and more of those, because people we're gonna have some different lifestyle. But that's crazy. That's insane. I mean, the only advantage being like, I'm not sure exactly what's happening if your house catching on fire. You just submerge it or what? And how you get power here? You have some underground, under the lake, on the bottom of the lake cables. I mean, it's nice. You don't need the car, at least not here. Probably you can park your car here. But seems like nobody has one here. So probably just need a boat and that's it. Huh. I don't think we have that in Europe, at least not here in the East. I didn't know something like that we have. But here in the United States, probably it's the first time that I see something like that. What else? Look at this. Nice front lawns. Nice houses. Yeah, probably on a small size for the American. But for the European, that's a huge house. And a huge house for the Americans is like castle for us. Something like that. But they look pretty nice. Look at this. They keep the shade on the windows. Pretty nice. They have a nice tree. They have an alley. Some sort of a garage in the back, which is pretty good. I mean, I'm not sure exactly. Clearly, it's not like a very rich area. It's some sort of like a medium income maybe, or low income. I'm not sure exactly. Not exactly low income, but probably like a middle income. Look at this. Kids playing on the street, for God's sake. So in 2024. So I guess it's not exactly illegal from what I heard. Probably just in California, who knows. To have kids playing on the streets, which is kind of weird to have that illegal. How stupid is that? Wow, look at this bus here. What is it? Or an RV? What is this? Huge amount. Look at it. In Europe, yeah. Oh no, it's a bus. So for a second, it's an RV, but no, it's an actually bus. I don't think in Europe you can have like a wide street that you can actually park a bus and just go right past it. Just no problems. In Europe, I don't think like we have such a small streets, just not even close to have something like that at home. Houses look pretty nice. Yards look very nice. I mean, like, it's very well thought, very well maintained. I like it. Let's move on. Okay, it's a lot to see here. I mean, it's like, it's not even close how much we can see. And I want to see the countryside. Let's see this one. Oh, we have even a house here. What is this? Let me check. Whoa, July 2025. So very recently. Let's see what we have here in the middle of nowhere. Wow, again, Americans they like to have their front yards well maintained. The cutting the grass, a lot of space. Yeah, no fences. It's pretty good. This cable here doesn't kind of bothers me a bit because you can actually bury them and just looking much better. But yeah, I guess it's fine. A nice RV, I think they call it, or something like a trailer, whatever they call it. I'm looking for those cars. That's a nice Buick, which is pretty nice, and this is a classic one. Not sure exactly which brand it is, but looking very nice. I mean, look at those fields in Pennsylvania. That's nice. That's really, what is Somerville? My God, that's a perfect name for a town. Where are you going in the summer? I'm going to Somerville, for God's sake. You know, that's great. And that's another thing good about Americans here. They have a lot of land. Which in Europe, especially in the East, yeah, we have a bit more. But in the West of Europe, not even close. You can check it on the map. You can see it. They barely have any land to breed there. It's insane. Here I think it's a low income, but still looking pretty good. And the car's pretty good too. I'm not sure exactly how much it's gonna be to buy a house here, but I'm assuming the prices in America, they are so different because they say that you buy the location, not the house in the first place. So probably like if you go in New York, it's gonna be uber expensive. But if you go in the countryside, it's gonna be like extremely cheap. So yeah, like I said, the only thing can kind of keep you down, I would say, in one place is because of the job. So again, I have to say this every video. Once we fix the housing market, the economy, the work market, we're gonna fix the economy and the housing market immediately. So yeah, everything is tied up in the job market, and once we fix that, like I say, we can even have like some sort of a basic income, which is gonna be really good. I mean, can you imagine having like let's say the government gives you $5,000 per person, per individual every month to spend it? I mean, all the money. It's a consumer-based society already, civilization. So any money that you have, you're gonna spend it most likely on whatever things that you need. You can even have some sort of a clause in that if you don't spend it all 5,000 by the end of the month, you're gonna lose the rest of them. So actually, I'm gonna motivate people to spend all the money. And so the only problems that we have is like how fast and how easy and how cheap we can actually produce things. That's the main problem, not the money itself, I would say. You need a way to overproducing everything, I would say. That's the problem, the main problem. And some people are gonna take a part of those money, they invest it in a stock market. You're gonna buy food, you're gonna buy a house. And at some point, the transition is gonna be everything for free at some point, but you need to have like a very low population compared with what we have today to achieve such a thing. That's a huge city. That's Pittsburgh, probably. I'm not sure exactly. We're gonna check that. Wow, look at the street. There are like concrete streets here, which we can see. I'm not sure exactly where they paved those, but they last much longer. Yeah, they're not exactly that silent when you go with the car, but trust me, they're much more resilient than tarmac. It's way better. Not sure exactly if they charge you for parking here, but I think like it's a shame. Can you imagine? I mean, can you imagine? Can you already know? They tax you when you buy the car. They tax you when you repair the car. They tax you when you drive the car. Have some sort of a road tax, something like that. They tax you when you park the car. They tax you because you own the car. So you can see they tax a lot for just having a car, pretty much. And this is just one example. So yeah, I don't think it's gonna last that much longer, this nonsense. It's an old order, if you want to say it. The new one probably is gonna be a bit better, so we're hoping for that, because it doesn't make any sense. I mean, like, they tax you just you want to use the car, you have insurance, so they're gonna tax you again. It's nonsense to me. It's not like that's some sort of a small tax. Like, yeah, I don't care about it that much, but it starts small, and then we're gonna end up with like huge ones that we have today, and not just from the US. It's pretty much for everyone, especially in the Western world. And I don't think it's a good model. I think it's not gonna last that much longer. But before things are getting better, it has to get worse, and now we're living the worst, pretty much. So yeah, high hopes for the future, I guess. That's interesting housing here. Look at this. They're not exactly all the same, but they kind of have the same architecture, the same design, which is pretty nice. Look at those plants here, pretty good. Look at the Subaru here. It's in Preza. Wow, I didn't see this in a long time. Not sure. It's like, this is an Acura, I think it is. Like pretty much a Honda. We have an Audi here with a sunroof, which is pretty good. This is what? June 2019. Wow, just the before pandemic, for God's sake. I mean, life was good, isn't it? Even the pandemic, when it hit, I mean, like, I think that everything kind of doubled in price since the 2019. I guess in like 5, 6, 7 years. It was insane how everything pretty much doubled, and the wages didn't keep up. So yeah, I think like a reset is gonna come pretty soon, and we're gonna see some huge improvement in everyone's life. But we will see how much we have to wait again for that to happen. My money, it's by 2030, but we will see. And by 2050, we're gonna live such a different lives. I mean, like, the next generation is gonna be, they used to work for money, they used to work for buy food, for surviving. That's crazy. And yeah, that was us. That's the last generation that actually work, pretty much. And we're gonna probably most of us gonna be alive to see it, which is gonna be a great achievement, I would say. But yeah, here they have a small lands, which I'm not exactly a big fan of them, but they can have, look at, they can park the car behind the houses, which is gonna be a great place. But they kind of choose to stay on the street, which is kind of sad, and it doesn't look that well. But yeah, they have, let me check that. They have, yeah, besides behind the house, look at how much space you have. Like some sort of a shade here, a shelter, even a garage built there. You're gonna have if you keep your car in a garage, usually it's gonna get older, let's say twice as slow. So if you have like a 5-year-old car parked in the streets, it's gonna be equal with how the car they look with a 10-year-old car parking garage. So even that, like I say, you have a garage, you're gonna have the car last much longer. You don't have to buy one every 5 years. You're gonna buy one every 10 years, which is much better, I would say. But yeah, you can improve that just like that. Very simple. And even if you sell the car, you're gonna get a bit more money because the car looks better. It was much better maintained. And if you do the maintenance, it's gonna save a lot of money, and you can actually do it better than the service, because the service, when you go to the car to make the maintenance, they work on the clock pretty much, so they have to speed up everything that they do into the car. So sometimes they don't wait for the oil to drain. They don't do the small stuff. For example, like putting some anti-seize on the, let's say, brake pads or other components, so they don't seize with time, or on the nuts on the wheel, something like that. You can do that very easy at home because it's a nice garage here. But they kind of work on the clock. They don't do that. And again, it's easy maintenance that you can have, and you can do it at your home, and it's gonna save you a lot of money. And again, improvements of the car save a lot of money. After those 10 years taking care of the car, probably the garage is gonna pay for itself. You don't have to pay money. Overall, it's gonna be a net zero positive in the bank account for that garage. Wow, this is pretty nice here. I mean, like, I don't even mad about that. Like, there's no actually pavement here. Actually, I think it's look better with this one than the pavement. And we have some guys living here in the forest area, I will call it. Oh, and by the way, I just purchased a quad, an ATV, if you want to call it. It's a sport quad. And I bought the most American one. I bought a Cannondale 440 speed, which is absolutely crazy. Unfortunately, yeah, I'm not gonna ride it that much, at least not right now, because I don't have exactly where to ride it. I'm living in a city here. But I'm waiting for a conversion in a few years to make it electric, and then buying a land and making a house, something like here in the middle of nowhere, and then enjoy it. But we will see. We will see about that. But yeah, I bought the most American thing I could buy, probably. So it's an achievement, I would say. Wow, look at this. I have a pretty good people here. Let's check this one. I see something like something blue, so I guess a pool. Yeah, pool here. So I guess not exactly a low income area, but some sort of like a middle one. This is 2008. Wow. Now it's 2012, so not that many street views go here, unfortunately. But even back then, looking pretty good. You have some sort of police cars here. I guess that's police department here. Pitson TVP police department. Okay, that's pretty good. And now they got 2023. Wow, even newer. That looks better. Oh, it's really old here. It didn't go on the main street that much. What the fuck? But they're looking pretty good. And they have a golf course there. And we can see a lot of pool above the ground here. So I'm guessing like really a middle income area, not exactly a rich one. Usually they have the regular pool, you know, buried, let's say, in the ground, not above the ground. But it's a start, you know, it's a start. This is how you start. And then you dig a hole and you have like a actual pool. Good for you. But yeah, it looks nice. It does look nice, I have to say. Pretty good, pretty good. This one, I think they have pools in the ground. Let me check again here. Yeah, some of them is, oh yeah, I think it's a more rich area. Let's check them. Oh yeah, it feels more rich here. So you can see immediately. You can judge them by the housing they live. You can judge them by the pool. You can see which one is by the green. You can see which one is more rich than other. Unfortunately, it's pretty old. Oh, now it's 2020. That's much newer. That was like 2012. They look good. I mean, this is what, December. Look at the frozen windows here. It's a Lincoln. That's a nice car. That's a nice house. Looking great. I mean, Pennsylvania genuinely looking great. Wow. Happy Hanukkah. We have some sort of a Jewish family here living. And they put that right there in the... I never see something like... I never see like a a Jewish celebration with one of those airfield things, whatever they call it. But yeah, that's a new one. I never saw that, but apparently they have one. What else we have here? Some trash here. Probably it's a trash day. Not sure. Yeah, I think it's a trash day. Everybody's with the trash. But look at this. They have like the round ones. Wow, I never see that. And probably are just for the recycling trash, just for like a cardboard, plastic, something like that. So probably they pick those up. It's like in Europe they were the same. They pick them up in a different day, which is good. It's not that hard to just put the plastic and glass and whatever they have it there in one trash so they can recycle. It's pretty simple actually. I was mad at the beginning, but now it's like I'm still mad because you don't get like a huge discount. It's supposed to be like for free if I recycle. I will not pay for the garbage if I recycle, but yeah, I think it's more corruption here than actually caring about the recycling for them. So yeah, overall looking pretty nice. Oh, we have a lake there. I want to check that. This is the highway, which is looking very good. Oh yeah, very good. Where was the lake? Oh, right here. We don't have that much actually, just a street view. Nobody goes there on the lake or what? Oh my god, look at this, pretty nice. I'm not sure exactly how much police they have here, but we can actually speed up here a bit. On a motorcycle, especially if there's nobody there. I mean, like, genuinely no one around you. It's pretty good, pretty good. What else we have here? Wow, look at this motorcycle here, pretty good. I mean, yeah, everything looks nice. Everything looks well thought, put together. And probably, again, this is not even like a high income area and still looking better than the high income area in Europe most of the time. So that's going to tell you a lot. Let's go to Philly. Let's see how they live there across the river. Genuinely, it's going to be worst because it's a big city. Yeah, I can see this one. It's a low income area. This is what, 2014. It's looking bad. I mean, look at this. Not that much land, not that much space. This is not how it's supposed to live. But again, it is what it is those days. So yeah, you can immediately identify a low income area. And if I want to identify a high income area, I'm just looking for green. So let me show you. Let me just give you some example. This one, it's more green. So already it's going to be a much higher income area. You can see it. Yeah, look at this. Like, nice front lawns, better housing, better street, better everything. Look at those trees. This is a much better way to live. This is the American way pretty much. And if I want to identify an even more expensive area to live, I will go probably here. I mean, look at this. Very thick, very packed with trees. And look at the land here. I mean, the housing pretty nice too, but look at this one. That's some sort of a palace there. I mean, the land, the trees, they already shows like a really high income area. And they're looking very nice. I mean, look at this one. That's a really nice place to live. Compared with what we saw. I mean, look at it. That's America right here. That's how it's supposed to live. And comparing with how they live in the city, I will call it. Let's go here. Yeah, huge difference. I mean, not that much space. Everyone kind of jam together here for and they come in here, let's face it, for the work. Nobody enjoyed living here compared with what we saw a few seconds earlier. So yeah, I think just paints a clear picture Have some pretty probably they have some high income areas here too, much better ones. But yeah, I don't care even about those ones. I don't think it's gonna get even close to what we saw earlier. That was much better. I mean, even the cemetery has more space than those guys, for God's sake. So again, that's gonna tell you a lot. Here they have a bit more trees, so yeah, I assuming a much better area to live, but not that much far away, I would say. Not that much better, but still pretty good. Judging by the cars, I mean, look, it's a 5 Series here. They're expensive cars, but they don't have a parking space. I mean, they have those alleys, but they are very small, very tiny. You cannot park anything there. So again, it was not exactly great thought when they build this. So probably it's an old one, that they didn't have that many cars back then. And yeah, kind of remain. But clearly, it's a much better area. Here again, when you, like I say, follow the green. When you follow the green, it's pretty good. Here it's not exactly great, but they have more space, as you can see here, than others. So that's pretty good. But it's kind of a rough area. I mean, look at this. They didn't maintain it that well, this one. And even the housing, it feels like they're abandoned at some point. But the car's looking pretty good there. So yeah, this is what, 2023. The house, not so great. Not all of them. Some of them, they're looking pretty decent, but yeah, clearly not exactly high income area, although they have more trees, as you can see. And here, judging by the pools, probably is gonna be, yeah, pretty nice. The American one, the American classic one. That's what we see in the movies and pretty much everywhere. In old magazines, I would call it, and old photos of America. Look at this. They have like very democratic here. Harry's president, for God's sake, and she lost. So it is what it is, I guess, for you. Wow, that's a really blue Subaru. And I kind of like it, you know what I mean? Like, kind of boring with those gray, white, black cars. It's just, now you have like a really nice one. I mean, like, that's a really interesting color, I would say. And we should buy those cars in a much more vivid color, let's call it like that, than the bullshit that we have. Those, they like pretty much non-colors, white and black, and anything in between. Wow, that's a nice river here. This is 2015. I mean, can you imagine? Okay, it's nice bridge there. Just want to have some break from the civilization and all of that. To just coming in an area like this and just think of the life, I guess. That's pretty nice. They have those pretty close, those spaces, which is nice. What else we have here? I mean, like the main city, I'm not sure, probably it's here with the, where are the sky eye towers now? Look at this right there. Again, not a huge fan of those, but in America, again, kind of works in a way because they have a lot of individual houses. That's how it works. If they have a lot of apartments building, like we have in Europe, it will not work that much, trust me. Even here, they have some sort of, I think those are apartments building also, but just in a different way. In Europe, you saw it if you check the other videos that I make. Yeah, not even close. I mean, in Europe, you're just waiting to die for something better to happen. In a way, it's just, no, it doesn't work here. It just, humans were not designed to live in apartment buildings. But like I say, in the US, you have a lot of individual housing, which is, I think in California, they're trying to destroy that, which is absolutely insane in my opinion. They think they are gonna lower the price of the housing, but by building those apartment buildings, no, they're not. They're just gonna make their state uglier, and the people are gonna buy homes there. They're gonna think like probably in 5 years to just run away from those places, and pretty much they're gonna become ghettos. So yeah. Oh, that's a nice Golf right there. Nice to see European cars in America. I think they look even better here, for God's sake. I don't know why. I mean, like, everything looks better here, but even the small European cars still look better here. That's a really good area to live. Genuinely looks nice. Yeah. That's in America right there. And you can see pretty close to the city. Not that far away. And we have some sort of a new buildings here, I assuming the way they was built, but feels like, again, like a social housing here. It's just too many people jamming together, too many cars, too many chaos. It's just not even close how it's supposed to live. So again, It's gonna be interesting to see how what's gonna happen with those places once we figured it out, the economy and all of that shit. And most of the people, they're gonna want to live here. What's gonna happen with the other places? Just gonna get abandoned? They're gonna get repurposed? That's interesting. But look at this. That's how it's supposed to live. See, wide lands, wide open lands, houses. You have a garage. You have an alley. You have a front yard or backyard. You have privacy. You have pretty much whatever you want. It is absolutely great. It is absolutely great. Wow, this is Halloween or what is that? Yeah, that's October. It's Halloween. Halloween is coming. Look at this. It genuinely looks nice again. It's just, you will never gonna see that in Europe, no matter what. It's just, you can't. The culture is not there. The people are not like that. No, you can't. The only way that you wanna live a lifestyle like this is just to move to America. I mean, that's a huge house. That's like probably like it's a hotel in Europe. There is like a mid-sized house or something like that. And Americans are pretty rich. I mean, look at those. They have those RVs that, again, in Europe, for us doesn't make that much sense. I mean, for England, they have a few of those, but in the rest of in Italy, and pretty much in the west of Europe, but in the center, on the east of Europe, doesn't make that much sense, those RVs to us. Like, how much I'm gonna pay for RV? How much I'm gonna pay to maintain it? And we can use all that money to just go in a nice hotel when I go once a year or twice a year on vacation, for example. Or if I want to have like the remote experience, I just buy a 100 euros tent and I go in the middle of nowhere and stay there for a night or two, and that's it. I'm done, you know. And it's way cheaper, and you don't have to carry that huge car, RV, whatever you call it. Cross the roads. So even in the fuel, I can just buy that, buy the tent that I needed to have the experience that I wanted. So yeah, but yeah, again, for Americans, probably it's a cultural thing. For Europeans, financially, even for Americans, financially it doesn't make any sense, but they like it, so I get it. Yeah, overall, absolutely great. It's just, it's very hard to find bad things here, although, like I say, we always go randomly on those maps. I'm not choosing the good side. You can see, just I don't go for the best or the best. I don't go in for the worst of the worst. I don't know where they are. I never visit. I never was here. So just going randomly on the map, and just by showing like most of them, they're looking absolutely impeccable. It just shows that they're doing pretty well there. I mean, they genuinely do pretty well. 25 miles an hour speed limit, that's way too low. It's supposed to be like at least 50 here. At least 50. I mean, look at this. That's the AC or the heat pump? I don't know, but they're looking pretty good. I don't think they have like an AC exactly needs for an AC here. It's just like, I don't think they get that much hot in the summer, and they are individual houses with the shade from the trees. So again, I don't think it's a problem. But they're doing pretty well. I like it. Even this area, look at this, wide open spaces. You can, let's say, you ride your motorcycles here, or quads, your ATV here is pretty good. You have garages for them to maintain them very well. They have really good cars here, nice cars here. So they're doing well. Even here, they're doing very well, for God's sake. Hopefully we are still inside the state, but yeah, that's very close to the line. If I miss something, that should be the absolute, this one, as you can see here, this is supposed to be like absolute minimum. Nothing, this is be like, this is how the worst of the worst looks like that. That's how it's supposed to be in the future, in my opinion, and probably it's gonna be. Not sure it's gonna be this century or the next one, but that's the way of living. Oh, look at these lines here. Why do they have those lines? What exactly are those? I'm gonna check them. Oh, they're just forests. Let's check this one. Okay, some sort of a mountains with forest. Okay. But looking pretty strange. I mean, maybe you can check on the other side better. Let's check this one. Yeah, just mountains with forest, and that was probably made in a fall, and that's why they have those nice colors. Yeah, overall, again, Very, I mean, you can hear about like how the American struggles and all that stuff. Then I believe it's real. It's just they think they got super expensive lately. But looking on the map now and see how they already live like at least twice better than Europeans. I mean, like the low incomes, they live pretty much like the middle incomes in Europe, and the middle incomes in US, they live like high, very high income in Europe, very high, sometimes even above them, for God's sake. So there it's one step ahead for sure, but it's gonna be interesting to see if they fix the economy. Then it probably is gonna be much faster to fix the US than Europe. It's gonna be interesting to see when the low income in the United States is gonna look like the upper middle income in Europe, which is pretty good, even in Europe. So that'll be interesting. And the middle income in US, they're gonna be pretty much rich, so they're not gonna be. It's not gonna be like a middle class anymore. It's just gonna be like the people that they don't have that much, but they doing very well, pretty good lives. The low income and the one that they have pretty much everything, and probably the low income is gonna get less and less by the every year. So it's gonna be interesting to see it, you know. But in Europe, yeah, not even close. I mean, like we cannot even agree on the which papers, toilet paper should allow to be sold. So can understand how much bureaucracy is here. In the US, it was a lot of bureaucracy too, and it still is. Pretty much made by Democrats, but it's going to be interesting to see how after Trump leaves the office, how he's going to leave behind and who's going to take over, and if they're going to continue this de-bureaucratic, deregulated, let's call it like that, road that he started on. It's gonna be interesting to see them. But yeah, overall they're looking pretty good. I mean, even today, just whatever I saw. And again, I'm not going for. Let's go for the low income. I was assuming this one is a low because again, not that much trees, pretty much jamming everyone together, but they're still looking pretty good. I mean, if it is a low income or even a middle income, not sure exactly how they call it, but probably it's a low income. In Europe, we don't even have that much space. We're living in we saw it in apartments, and that's the middle income in Europe. But what the fuck was that? Let's go again. Where was that? I think it was for the Halloween. I mean, look at this guy. They put him in a basket. Oh god. Yeah, in Europe, you live in the middle class living in apartments again like 50 square meters. So 50 square meters, like 100 square feet or 150 square feet, something like that. I mean, very small. But Americans, they could not live here. They just when you go here, probably they're like, nah, I'm out. And you live like in a huge apartment buildings with a lot of people, and the walls are not that thick, so you kind of hear pretty much everything. Yeah, and that's the middle income. Again, keep in mind that's the middle class, which is pretty much dying, as you can see those days. That was the Ukrainian flag, for God's sake. Oh my God, they have it even here. They put a Ukrainian flag there, but they don't maintain the house that well. So yeah, that's gonna tell you a lot about the owners. Yeah, in Europe, something like that much land and that much house and that much of the car. Not even close, buddy. Not even close. I'm not sure exactly how they stay with. They say the grocery is pretty expensive now. In Europe, you can get away with like 25, 30 euros a week. So you can stay pretty decent food around 100 euros, pretty much like $120, something like that per month. If you bump up to, let's say, $200 or 200 euros, yeah, you are pretty good. I mean, like for a person, you're doing very well. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how it's gonna be. That I guess like in the US they got more deals than we have here in Europe. So I guess if you look for those, you can live pretty well even in the United States, judging by the food. The phone, the mobile cell, it's very cheap here. I pay, for example, I have unlimited minutes, unlimited internet, and very good signal, and I pay like $2, maybe $3 a month, which is very cheap. And just internet that I install right now in the house, I pay around $8 per month, something like that again. And if I want the TV, it's another $8. But I didn't have the TV right now. It's just I want to take a break from the TV. So yeah, you can see it. Just those things are very cheap here, especially in my country, in Romania. They're extremely cheap, even by our standards. Let's call it like that. Probably for the American ones, like that's nothing. But yeah, and that just shows that you can have those low prices, especially from the internet and phone cell and the TV, extremely cheap, because you just have like you have the infrastructure, then you lay up the cables, and that's it. You don't have that much maintenance to do to them. That's why the price is going down pretty much. I think they're going down every year a bit more. And sometimes when you have like a Black Friday or something like that, or Easter, they have some sort of a special offer. You can just take those and pretty much pay half of that for the next 2 years. So you have good deals here on this side. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see it in the future. They just show it that pretty much internet can be for free, and even the phone cell can be for free. The gas prices, I mean, we see it in US very low. In Europe, I told you how they're doing things here. It's just every time the price goes down, they came up with the new taxes so they can keep the price very high, and they've used our money to pretty much steal it in a way or another. They say they're doing socialist things with them, like they're paying for social security for someone else, but in reality, it's just they find ways to steal that money. They make some sort of a company, and then they give themselves contracts with the state, and then they cash the money on the price that they want, and that's how they move money from the government, from the state to the private area in their companies, which is a pretty easy way to do it here. And not just in Romania, it's pretty much all over the Europe, probably even in the US at some point, but here it's a way much scale. And yeah, they tax a lot the salary and all that stuff, but that's a different discussion. Here in the United States, this seems to do pretty well. What is that, the gay flag? Oh no, it's the weed flag, I guess. the weed flag. I didn't know that the weed have a flag. There's such a thing as a weed flag. The weed flag. Sounds pretty good. Oh yeah, but by the way, the weed. With I think Germany, they legalize it, but now because here in the east of Europe, they're pretty much the old people from the Communist Party still in power. They have exactly how they call it, zero tolerance, which is like pretty much bullshit. But when those people, they're gonna die, and God forbid happen even faster. I would like to see it, but yeah, we're gonna legalize here too. It's just like I say, it's just natural, it's just grass. It just doesn't do that much damage. I mean, like, the only damage that they can do is just those people that they cannot control themselves, and those people, they are the one that gambling all the money, they are drinking to death, they are cannot stop eating sugar, and so they're pretty much a small population that just ruin it for everybody. And that's probably available for every country. This is 2020. Look at the gas prices here. So unleaded, I think they call it $3.89 for I'm not sure exactly what those 9 and 10 means. Huh? What exactly those means? That's the date or what? I'm not sure. For the unleaded and diesel, it's much more expensive, which is kind of weird. In Europe, I think they're pretty much similar, and at some point it was even twice as cheap than gas, the diesel. So yeah, probably after 2030 again in Europe, God knows what's gonna be. But you're gonna see like a plummeting, I would say, in the gas price. It's just gonna be like almost free. Probably in US is gonna be under $1. The cars now using less fuel. It's a lot of electrification. It's just at some point it's gonna be like you cannot find gas. Nobody sells it because just not that much clients for it. So it's gonna be interesting to see that. So yeah, probably at some point it's gonna be like dirt cheap, the gas, like 50 cents or something like that. But by then, just everybody kind of have like electric cars and all that, because the regular cars, the gasoline ones, they're gonna cost too much to repair and to maintain. So just like, it's not even worth it, you know, staying with the car in a service when you can have an electric car that always on. That's a nice Porsche. So yeah, I don't think we need to check that much in Pennsylvania. I think it's pretty good wherever you go, even here. Not sure exactly where those Amish community live, But so far, whatever we see it here, they're doing pretty well. They genuinely dairy of the distinction. I don't know what that means, but looking pretty good. Have some farming equipment here. It is good. It is genuinely pretty good. I'm not worried. Doing well. Doing very well. Wherever you go here. What else can we find? Oh, it's like some sort of a nice forest here. So yeah. Oh, 55 speed limit. 55 is pretty decent, but 65 will be better. For a road like this, yeah, that's a 65 all day long. Even a 70 probably. But let's say with a 65. That's slow. It's not even like a real curve here. But the road, it's absolutely. I'm not sure exactly how much you pay in road taxes here because the road is pretty good. And here in the east, we kind of pay a lot, and we still pretty much destroy the cars on the road. So again, corruption, but it is what it is. We try to change that. Hopefully with the next generation. Yeah, overall they look very nice. Doesn't matter where you go. They have in the city they have some rough areas. Outside the city there are some low income areas, but even then you can genuinely look pretty good if you just clean the yards and plant more trees and take care of the on the lawn. Just improve the house immediately. But yeah, overall, not that much to complain, I have to say. It is pretty good. And it's a huge state with a huge population, I would add. Not that small. So they manage well. Again, the American manage the life pretty well for themselves. Wow, look at those small alleys. How they go with those? I don't think it's a street there. Yeah, even here, pretty decent. They have housing, for God's sake. They don't have apartments. And the cars, wow, that's pretty nice. It's a Ford Focus ST. Wow, pretty good. That's a Chevy. I think it's a Silverado or something like that. I'm not sure, but yeah, I think it's a Silverado. Nah, looking pretty good. Yeah, again, I compare it with the rest of the Western world, especially with Europe and yeah, for the American way, you can see, that's like look like my ass or something like that, but no. For the actual, for someone to actually live in, yes, it does look genuinely good. They do genuinely look good. So yeah, I guess that's it. It's not much we can say about them. Just even here in the middle of nowhere, you can see something. It's an abandoned house here and there. So, but again, look at the front yards looking nice, nice trees. I mean, genuinely look nice. They have the really good road. That's a church there. They have a post office there, I guess, or a post car. Yeah, again, not that much to do, not that many things to do there. It's in the middle of nowhere, for God's sake. But still, they genuinely look pretty good. So again, I am assuming that they have some parts in the regions like east or the west or the south or the north when they are a bit poorer or in some are richer. But overall, wow, look at how many cars they have here. What the fuck? But yeah, overall looking pretty good. I mean, I look at the front yards looking pretty nice. Look at the space that they have. Look at the pink garbage trash cans. Probably like some sort of cancer there. Yeah, the housing needs some improvement. They're very weird and small on this one, but again, like I say, they have the land, which it's huge opportunities to build on that. Just have a new house. And yeah, they look nice. It's a house, not an apartment, for God's sake. And you have a yard. You have, look at the lights. Look at the, and this is what, September. Looking pretty good. Yeah, some of them, they need some improvement, clearly, but overall, that could be fixed. So yeah, I don't think we have to make this video much longer. I see what I want to see it. Just looking, look at this picture. Wow, that's pretty good. Yeah, Pennsylvania looks very nice. In big cities like Philly here and Pittsburgh, Uh, yeah, there are a few areas where you can see they kind of jamming people there to live, work, to whatever, but not exactly the greatest place there. But overall, I would say pretty good. And again, we compare the United States. That's why we make those states with pretty much Europe, all over the Europe. So it's a difference. It's a huge difference in my opinion. So yeah, if you're living there and watch this video, just leave a comment, say how actually things are there. Again, I'm not going for the best location. I'm not going for the worst location. It's just randomly on the map as always. And that was Pennsylvania. So yeah, that's it.